Okay, the second kind of mixing procedure that is actually equivalent to just a 50% cutting of the packet is something I have called the Charlier 1. Okay, so you won't find that name anywhere except on my YouTube channel or my LinkedIn page. So Charlier 1, what does that mean? Well, the 1 tells us to move one card over each time. Okay, so how does that work? So let's go ahead and just gather up the cards. So here's a Charlier 1. So you move one card over from the top to the bottom. One from the bottom gets placed on top. The next top card here goes on bottom. The bottom card here goes on top. Top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay. Well, that's a lot of scrambling of the cards. So you would think that, the cards are mixed, maybe not as well as a full Charlier shuffle, but still certainly beyond the knowledge of anyone. Okay. But I just want to show you here that that's actually not the case. Okay, so I can divide up the cards here, and I'm going to try to kind of use my intuition to detect the color of the cards. The color of the cards. Okay. Oh, that's very strange, actually. Yeah. I am certainly getting a very clear feeling that these cards right here are all of the same color. How surprising would that be? After all that movement. And these are of the same color. Well, which is which? Let's see. Oh, I can tell. These are red. They have a different resonance and vibrational frequency. I can definitely feel those are red. Red ink has been used to create those cards, whereas I'm not getting that same vibe over here. These are clearly black. Well, let's see if I'm right. What are the chances of me being right? Red, 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 red. What the heck? Are you telling me these are all black? They are indeed. Okay, so what is the Charlier 1 shuffle doing? Well, as I mentioned, it's equivalent to a 50% cutting of the cards. It's like cutting the cards just in half, okay? So to see that, let's go ahead and just get an ordered packet again. Okay, so I've decided to go with 12 cards again, just because it's a good number for illustrating this. Okay, and they're in order. Top card is an ace, all the way down to the bottom card, which is a queen, okay? So I'll turn the cards face down. So we'll perform a Charlier 1 and see what effect that has on this packet of cards. So you push over the top card. The bottom card now goes on top. Top card over here goes on the bottom. Bottom on top. Top to bottom. Bottom on top. Top to bottom. Bottom on top. Top to bottom. Bottom to top. Top to bottom. Bottom to top. Okay. So what has that actually done to the ordering of the cards? Well, you can see exactly what it's done. It's a 50% cutting of the packet. It's cut the top 6 cards to the bottom. That's all it's done. These 6 cards were over here, right? They were on top. So it's a 50% cutting of the packet. Well, when would that be useful? Well, it's useful a lot, because anytime you have a packet structure that is symmetric relative to a 50% cutting of the cards, and many of them are, you can perform that shuffle and it won't harm the organizational structure of the packet. Why don't I go ahead and show you a couple of examples of this? Why don't we show you the very first one that I demonstrated? How did I pull off the dividing into 6 red cards and 6 black cards? And how in the world would I know which half consisted of red and which half consisted of black? Okay, well, all I did was, you can maybe guess now, is I started with, you remember I didn't show you the cards for this particular demonstration. They were face down. But I started with 6 red cards on top and 6 on bottom. That's what I started with. Okay. Well, if this is a 50% cut, it's going to move those top 6 red cards to the bottom. That's all it's going to do. So let's do a Charlier A1. So top to bottom, bottom to top, 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 bottom to top, top to bottom. Now, that phrase, you don't say that out loud for the spectator to hear. You kind of silently repeat that if you need to. I find that it's helpful. It kind of keeps you on track. Because otherwise you might forget, now, have I already moved the top to the bottom, or do I still need to do it? So if you just kind of have that echoing in your mind silently, it keeps you on track. Okay, so doing one of those is equivalent to a 50% cut. Of course, if we were to do a second one, that would be another 50% cut, and as you might imagine, that would return the packet to its original order. Well, if you think about it, right there, it makes the Charlier One Shuffle valuable for any even-sized packet of cards, because 2 of these is the identity permutation. It returns the packet to its original order. So if you have any information about the original order and you perform 2 of these in succession, you know everything about that packet. Anything you knew before is still true about it. Okay, so even just that single application is amazing. So here, I've just done it once. So the top 6, which were red, are now on the bottom. And the bottom's black. 6 black cards are now on top. Okay, well, if you think about it, what I did was I said, well, I'm going to try to get a feel for these cards, if we've done anything kind of special with them. Let's see. Well, that's weird. Yeah, these top cards here. Oh, yeah. In fact, I can feel that this card here and this card here are almost repulsing each other or something. I think these are all of one color. That's my guess. I think in fact, I think they're black. Yeah. Well, that would mean these would all have to be red. There's no way these are all red, is it? Oh, it is indeed. Look at that. They're all red and these are all black. Okay, so just, redoing that simple application there. Okay, so Charlier A1 is equivalent to a 50% cutting of the cards. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at different packet structures. If they're invariant under a 50% cutting of the cards, and many packet structures are, then you can use the Charlier A1 and not lose track or lose information about that packet. And if for whatever reason the packet is not one that's invariant under a 50% cutting of the cards, then just perform the Charlier A1 twice. And that's the identity permutation. It returns the packet to its original order. Okay, so that's valuable for any. Now you can't do that, by the way. The general Charlier, you can't do that, because it will depend on how many cards are being moved. This general Charlier, in some ways, is more convincing looking, but you lose certainty regarding the new organization of the cards. All you know is it's equivalent to cutting a certain number of cards to the bottom, which in the case of cyclic packets, like alternating red-black, it's okay. It doesn't harm it. But a general packet, just randomly cutting it, we don't know exactly what got moved to the top and what got moved to the bottom. Okay, so in some ways the Charlier A1 is more powerful in retaining information about the packet structure now relative to what it was before, because it's just a 50% cut. Whereas the general Charlier, if you're lucky, it might end up being a 50% cutting, but most likely it's not, right? If you're not keeping track of how many you're moving, you're probably not moving in the end exactly half the cards to the bottom in the case of an even-sized packet of cards. Okay, so let me go ahead and just show you maybe one more application of this one as well. just doing the shuffle once, not twice. I mean, twice is great. And of course, any multiple of 2, right, will preserve the ordering of the cards. So if you perform the Charlier 1 4 times, it's the identity shuffle, the identity permutation, or 6 or 8 or 10 and so forth. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and show you another application. So I have here 12 cards, as you can count, quickly count. Okay, so we're going to perform this Charlier shuffle just once. Okay, so top to bottom, bottom top, top to bottom, bottom top, top to bottom, bottom top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay, boy, after that scrambling of the cards, you would really think that these cards are mixed. Well, let's just see how mixed they are. I'm going to go ahead and just deal them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a good number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's see what we've done after all of that crazy mixing that we call the Charlier 1 shuffle. What are these over here? Oh, that's nice. A pair of aces. What are these? Oh, no way. They're even in the right order. There's no way this is a 3. Oh, boy. What are the chances that this would happen by chance alone? Very, very, very small. How in heaven's name did you do that? I saw those cards just being moved all over the place, and somehow you were able to pair them up perfectly. Aren't you amazing? Okay, well, you can guess what the original organization of the cards was. Okay, it was cyclic, actually. So I just had like ace through 6 on top, and then I had that same pattern for the bottom half. Same pattern. Okay, so this is cyclic. Okay, and so if you think about it, a Charlier 1 will cut the packet in half. So these 6 that are on top will be moved to the bottom, and vice versa. Well, then, if you just deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll be dealing 1 card of each value for a given color. In fact, if these get moved to the bottom by a Charlier 1, it would now look like this. So the top 6 would be the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the bottom 6 would be the clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, that's in contrast. So this is cyclic. That's the important thing. What's cyclic again? That's where you have a pattern that repeats 1 or more times. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and just contrast this Charlier 1 with the general Charlier shuffle. Because since this is cyclic, I've claimed that a general Charlier will not destroy the cyclic nature of the packet. And that's true, actually. Why is that? Because cutting the packet will not change, unless you drop the cards, will not destroy the cyclic organization of the cards. Okay? So what's different this time is if I deal out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these will still be paired up perfectly. The only thing I will not know, which is fairly significant, is I will not know where pairs are. Now, it is true if I peek at one, I'll be able to deduce all of the others. But for instance, I don't know that this is the ace. These are the aces here, and they're not. It's the 4s over here, right? Now, you can probably think through, okay, what's going to be over here, though? What follows the 4 in the ordering? Isn't it the 5s? What follows the 5s? The 6s. What technically follows the 6s in this cyclic arrangement of the cards? Well, the aces. Those are the neighbors. And then the 2s. And then, of course, the 3s. Okay. So anyway, with the Charlier shuffle, it's like it shifts these pairs in some way. Okay. Whereas the Charlier 1 will enable us to know the exact value of each of the pairs of cards from left to right. Okay. Anyway, that's the Charlier 1. Very valuable, especially when the full Charlier shuffle will destroy what you're working with. The Charlier 1 can still be used to convincingly mix the cards, and you'll still have considerable knowledge as to what the packet structure is after the Charlier 1 shuffle. Okay, so let's go on to our final one for today.